What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Show and Tell After Dark, where we talk about all things art, all things music, and all things Boston. My name is Cricket Smith. I am one of your hosts tonight. I have my friend Tata to the left of me. How are you?
Good.
Period. Okay, tonight's episode is Asian and Pacific Islander. Unfortunately, there's only one person here representing the Pacific Islands, and then we have the rest of our beautiful nationalities and ethnicities representing Asia. So let's start with your name, your occupation, and where you're from, nationality, and ethnically. Yeah. You agree?
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Or let's go.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Cold Kwan. I'm Chinese. I was born and raised in Quincy, which is south of just south of here, Boston. And so what was it? I'm a intensive care manager. I work with social workers and it's a nonprofit mental health organization. And we serve people who, usually low income or they don't really have a lot of resources. So yeah, that's my job.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Hello, everybody. My name's Sam Gao. I'm Chinese, northeast part of China, near Beijing, I guess. I have a communication marketing background. I came here in 2008, so I've been here 15 years. A little bit slow in the math now, so that's about it to start.
Okay.
My name is Christina. I was born and raised in Boston, so I've been here my whole life. I am an EMT by day, and then by night I'm a server at Grace Spinia. So if you want some good food, come visit me.
Girl, we was there cutting up the other night with your coworker.
Oh, really?
With your coworker Noah, girl. He was taking all our pictures.
Who?
Noah.
Noah.
Yes, he works at the he worked at the I'll show you a picture at the end.
I don't know Noah, but
I'll show you a picture at the
All
end.
right,
You might do.
all right.
Go ahead, baby.
Oh, okay.
Hi, my name is Armaya Doremi. I'm a social media marketer.
Wait, say your name again.
Armaya Doremi. Armaya.
That's your first and last name?
Yes,
Oh, say the first name.
Armaya.
That's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. That's my father's name. My father's middle name.
Mm.
And Doremi is my family name. So, like Doremi fa sol la si do.
Interesting.
Do si la so fa mi re do. I'm from Indonesia. I'm from the third biggest city in Indonesia. I came to Boston at the end of 2017. I've been here for almost 5 years. Thank you.
Welcome to Boston.
Hi everyone, my name is Elena Dong. I am an event planner designer. I also own small business, is event planning company. It's called Wonder Event. I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm Chinese. I'm from Beijing. I came here when I was 19, study, and then just start my own small business. So yeah, that's about me.
Awesome. Hi, my name is Rong. It sounds like right. That's right. That's my name. Wrong. I like my name.
I love you.
I think my name I can make lots of stories and jokes about my name. I'm so proud my name is wrong. That's right. But I'm right. So, I've been here for 10 years and I'm accountant from Monday to Friday, and I was teaching swimming in BU this summer, and so I'm also swimming instructor and lifeguard.
So, for those of you born outside the U.S., what are some preconceptions of American culture that you've had? And then when you came here, were they true or false?
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Go ahead.
But this is a very specific. I don't know if it's safe,
You can do it.
you know. So I think the preconception about America before I came here was the black culture,
Okay.
where we thought some of Indonesian or some of people outside of America thought that black people are criminals, etc., etc., and then they are not good. And when I came here, I remember someone told me She was from other university. I went to Northeastern University. It was 2017, and then she looked at map. She saw that Northeastern University was close to Roxbury, and she was like, "Oh, this is Bronx, and this is not a good neighborhood, etc., etc." When I came here, of course, that stereotype was in my brain. So I was like, I was afraid to be around, black community. I was just like, it's like you didn't know anything. Right. But in school, I learned all about American, like system, like slavery, capitalism. I watched the slavery videos, and then it opened my mind. But still, I wasn't connected to the culture. But when I've been living here for five years, so what I see was different, like not whole true. Everyone can be criminals, no matter where they're from. Indonesian people, Filipino, like Mexico, like any other ethnicity, like anyone could be criminals. It's just individuals, but that's like preconception about that. And it wasn't true because black culture is beautiful. When I was young, I remember I listened to hip hop, even though I didn't know what it means. But like I was a captain cheerleaders. I was a dancer coach when I was in high school. So we listened to all hip hop, but we didn't know about the culture before. So when I came here, it was different, And now like I'm adapting to that black community, and to me it's beautiful. And then that's why like I want to share my experience to at least my Indonesian people, like about like this is the black culture in Boston, especially like it's very diverse. It's beautiful, and people care each other. Yeah. So that's like one preconception that it's happened before I came here. Mm-hmm.
And now you work with Bent, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What is that?
Shout out to Bent.
So Bent is Ballot Entertainment is one of the event promoters in Boston that we host brunch events, we host R&B events, we host reggae events.
What? So you came from not.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a huge.
Yeah, so I'm the social media coordinator for that event promoter.
Wow.
So like every time we have an event, I create content and then help the marketing side of it every weekends. And now I'm just, what is it called in English?
Connecting?
Like you just merging to the culture, and you feel like you are into that culture.
That's what's up.
Assimilation, yeah, assimilate. Yeah.
Anybody else want to share their experience? Thank you for that. That was
Yeah.
That was brave.
That America's gluttonous sex culture. When we talking about that, did we talk about that? Like that America's like filled with sex, and it's not like in other countries. It's just not like that.
Can you elaborate?
In Indonesia, like is it as like sex filled, like everything on TV, or like the culture itself? If we're talking about the differences between Asian culture and American culture.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about sex gender or?
Oh no, like
sex, like punching.
Like like Tinder.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to Tinder you.
You said Tinder. I'm done. How you relate sex with Tinder?
Make everything sexual.
Is sex like hyperalized in Indonesia?
You can't. Not really, because you cannot just do that, because most of us the majority of the population are Muslim. So basically, if you have a boyfriend, if you have a girlfriend, if you hold hand, or you can't even kiss in the public. You could, at for example, clubs, we have clubs, you could do that. But sometimes like what is it called in English? Sorry. Like people talk and then give you like a social judgment for that. So you better not doing it, and then you're doing it like probably like not in the public. People don't really sexualize unless that person is really wearing something like open.
I see.
So they sexualize, like they were confused, like wow, because they haven't seen it often.
Yeah.
In here, you can see it like it's normal for everybody here, like to wear like you show your Clevelands or whatever. But there, it's like a judgment, like wow. And then to me personally, it turns out to be body shaming. So for example, like I have in Indonesia, most of the stereotype of Asian, we have a like a skinny body, right? And if you're a little bit thick, they call it fat, and they say like, oh, why your thighs are so big. They didn't know it was a body shaming, but in America, it's a body shaming.
Yeah. Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
so
right. Right.
they to me, in my opinion, they were ignorant a little bit about that by saying that, but they didn't know that it was actually hurting someone else. But before, when they asked that, when they told me like, oh, you have a big thighs, I didn't know it was a body shaming.
Right. Right. Right.
So
right.
you know, that's very different. When I'm here, like people talk about body shaming, mental health,
Yeah.
and it was a body shaming. Now I can talk about body shaming because I was in that position, but never know that it was a body shaming. How about you, Elena?
Just add to her what she just said. I think in Asian culture, everything is more closed.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, just when we talk about sex or the body shape, so in here, I feel like everyone is just enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we think differently. Everyone's independent. In here is like, oh, if I date with you, if something wrong with you, a lot of people, especially for college kids, they date with one person for 3 days and they broke up.
Yeah.
But in Asia, I can't speak for other countries, but in China or in Japan or in Korea, a lot of people is like, you have a sure commitment. Even though in marriage, if you feel like you're not happy, they don't want to do the what is it called again? Yeah, divorce.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
I had too much wine.
Girl, bye.
They don't want to go that far because they think they have a kid. They think this is marriage. You gotta show your commitment.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
they're not happy, right?
Yeah.
But here is like, I can just do whatever I want. I gotta treat myself right. I gotta do things right. So that's type of freedom we have here in America. And when you talk about the body shape, like so a lot of Asian country, they think skinny is a beauty. So you see myself, I wouldn't consider myself fat, right? But I'm fat in general in their eye. Yeah.
Oh wow.
My mom always say, cause I weighed 130. Yeah, and my pounds, yes, and I gotta be, I would say 95. Then yes, I know. So every time I FaceTime my mom, and she's like, "Why can't you just lose weight? Like
Goddamn.
when you come, because I'm going back to China for family visit.
So preparing yourself.
Yeah, I don't care because whenever I go to gym, so before I go there, I was a personal trainer.
Okay.
Yes, I was a personal. I'm a physical personal trainer before I do my official job right now. So every time I go to workout, so because I had a car accident, so right now I don't do workout that much. So obviously I lost some muscles. But when I was in college, I used to work out with my American friends and like a muscle stuff. And then when I walk in that gym, all the Chinese guys look at me, they think I'm weird. They think I'm a man.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Right? They think, oh, you're so much muscle because in China, girls are like very skinny, soft, and I have so much muscle on my shoulder, and then my butt was,
Because you never really see like a chunky Chinese girl. When I do, I'm like,
No.
oh, she's so freaking cute.
Every
It's very,
Chinese
very,
girl
very rare.
is so skinny.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to judge that. It just the culture is different because everyone is judgmental nowadays, right? So I can't say anything about that. But in here, you can enjoy yourself. I can eat whatever the fuck I want, and I can just be myself, right? And whoever I hung out with, my friends or my boyfriends, my husband, they just love who I am, right? So I feel like nowadays people are lost patient capacity, and they just very judgmental. Yeah. So just some words I want to add after what she said. Yeah.
Do you prefer a culture that's like, well, you said in China, Korea, Japan, it's about duty in like the marriage and relationship, like you don't want to get divorced, but
Yeah.
in America, do you think that like we're too kind of like, well, I don't like that, so I'm just gonna go the other way?
So if you get divorced in China, I don't know what does it look like in Japan. So if you're a woman and you got divorced, people gonna say stuff about this woman. For example, if I got divorced and then I want to marry another guy,
Yeah.
and then that guy's family gonna say, "Oh, she's not worth it. She already had a marriage.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yep,
Everything's
yep.
broken. Something wrong with this lady." But when you talk about the man, they don't care. I'm just talking about sexuality in
Yep.
general, right? They don't care. For men, is so the woman's power in Asian culture is very low. They don't care, right? But I'm glad nowadays a lot of women have their own business. They are very financially independent.
Yeah.
The rate of divorce in China is going up really high right now because we don't care anymore.
Yeah.
We make our own money and we just don't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want, right?
Yeah.
Even though I divorce with a man, I don't care. Like I have my own money, right? So that's the fun fact that happening in China. Yeah.
All right, everybody, we have a new guest to the stage. He's late, but I guess I'll introduce him. Can you pass the name? Can you pass the mic to him?
You are to focus.
What up?
What's your name? Where you from? What's your occupation?
I'm Adam. I'm from Melrose, Mass. But I'm half Chinese, I'm Indonesian, and I'm Dutch. And occupation, you know.
Broke ass
You are
nigga.
Indonesian?
Just kidding, just kidding.
You are Indonesian?
Hey, what you do for
Oh,
work,
Yeah,
Adam?
I'm 25% Indonesian.
I'm
you know what saying?
Indonesian.
What?
I'm Indonesian.
Oh, really? Yeah, my Really? Yeah, my grandparents are from there. They were
Can you
born
speak Bahasa?
there. No,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm
No, this is-
Indonesianness.
No, if Indonesian
Clock on that
Dutch
for me.
makes sense because we were colonized by Dutch. So I'm a half white. My grandmother is from Holland.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's where my Dutch part comes from,
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
They were met when they finished the war.
Very interesting thing. So just as there's like not a lot of stuff that you guys knew about Black culture, there's also, there's so many different Asian cultures that we have. A lot of niggas don't even know what Indonesia
We don't talk. We don't talk about you
is.
guys.
You feel
Yeah.
me? So it's like there's different people. The same people are living their different lives, just in different variations. The same thing y'all government does to y'all, they do to us in different ways. And certain things are shown to certain people to program their minds to think a certain way. And it's messed up, and it's not until you actually open your mind and have a conversation with somebody that has an opposing view than yours, and you realize that, dang, like, we're kind of like alike in more ways than one,
But also, I don't blame I don't blame my community.
Yeah.
By not knowing, because we don't talk about that. We don't study that. We study our culture. In school we study, let's say, the dynasty of Indonesia. We talk about. We have 18,000 islands in Indonesia, and we have like 1,000 of ethnicity.
Yeah.
So even our culture itself, sometimes we missed. So we don't talk about like Black culture, what's happened outside of the world.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think like we're proud of our culture as well as an Indonesian, because it's very rich and beautiful. Like every country has their own culture, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful. So sometimes I think that I'm just lucky to be here.
Yeah.
But also I can't blame people who are outside of the country who don't have access to learn.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes, yes,
to learn,
yes.
to explore, network.
Yep.
So I call it "This is life." I don't know.
Yeah. What's up, Quan?
Yeah, and I just wanted to add what she said. I feel like, it just, in my opinion at least, in general, a lot of Asian Americans are viewed as a monolith.
What you mean by that?
Like a monolith, for example, like people, even South America, people just assume you're Chinese.
Yeah.
Which I am.
Yeah.
But it's
But
like,
don't assume.
But a lot of like,
You coulda asked me.
for example, and I think it's just lack of exposure.
Yeah.
For example, like people, like are you like Japanese and Koreans? They usually a lot of people. I would say more in the older generation, they like to group all Asians as like Chinese or East Asian, because like they're Southeast Asians like Cambodians and as you said Indonesians, and there's not really. There's a lot of Vietnamese people here, but for example, like Indonesia, for example, there's not a lot of people here. So, and I think just due to a lack of exposure, they might, I think it's just more like, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't have that type of like, knowledge and all that.
Yeah. All right, let's take it back to the dating thing. How we were talking about before, because I feel like dating in Asian culture is much more different than American culture. So let's run that back. So have you guys ever experienced any stereotypes or biases in the dating world as Asian and Pacific Islander?
I'm the only Pacific Islander here. Everyone thinks I'm black, so it's cool.
Okay, yeah. Have you experienced any stereotypes in the dating world as Asian and as women? Like, what are the stereotypes that you've experienced, especially if you guys ever dated out of your race or nationality, out of your ethnicity or nationality?
And then the men after.
Do you want to start?
Come on, give her that mic.
You gotta speak into the mic.
Yeah. I was trying
She
to
thinking. She got to put her thoughts together.
Wait.
You want me to ask it again?
Yeah. Could you ask again?
Yes,
Sorry. Like
You good, girl. Have you experienced any of stereotypes or biases in the dating world?
Oh yeah.
In America.
So, right. So when I first came here, obviously, dating was kind of. I feel like for a lot of white men, they think dating Chinese are kind of like a fun thing, interesting thing, exotic thing to do, right? Because they don't get that exposure to a lot of Chinese girls, right? Then when I first came here, it started in Orlando on Disney, so there were a lot of international boys, a lot of white boys, particularly, and then they would think dating Chinese girls, obviously, they're mostly submissive. They think Chinese girls are submissive, right? Or whatever they say, we gotta say yes. We gotta be, I don't know. We need to agree with them.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, like they will say, you're not so Chinese. Like what? You're not Chinese. Like what do you mean? Most of the Chinese girls that I talk to, they agree with me, and they'll just they're mostly very shy. They don't talk a lot, but like you have a lot of your opinions. You're like opinionated and stuff. It's like, yeah, like you're stereotyping all Chinese, and you're having like this, just like false. I don't know.
How did you what when you dated back in Beijing? Was everyone Chinese?
Mostly Chinese. There was one Japanese Chinese guy. So yeah, mostly Asian.
And the relationship was traditional. What is a boyfriend girlfriend relationship in China? Is it different than over here?
It is different.
Okay.
Completely different. I think. I mean, back then, I think. Cause
what you mean by back
early.
then?
Back then, because I came here in 2008. So everything after 2008, I'm not like so sure. I can't speak for that.
Yes. Speak from 2008.
Right.
What was popping off back in the early
before
2000s?
2008. So people like Asian boys, obviously, they expect you to be submissive, right? The Chinese girls, like that's the culture, right? And then, obviously, so once you're in a relationship, wait, where am I starting? So, okay, different things.
Yeah.
When you start dating, there's so when you're here, there are different stages of dating, right? When you first, go on a first date or second date or whatever, you're just talking, you're just getting to know each other, talking about your interests, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
And then third date, maybe starting, I'm really interested in this girl, or I'm interested in this boy, I want to go out again. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of seriousness, right? But if in China, a boy can be like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And a girl will be like, yeah. And then that's like a girlfriend and boyfriend thing, right? And then starting from the second day, if the girl talks to another boy, then that's betrayal. Right? Yeah.
I'd have been
then,
betrayed my man.
You are, like, you'd be like, loyalty like number one, right? So you're a slut, right? So you can't do that back then.
That's traumatizing, low-key.
Right, a little bit.
That's
A little
traumatizing.
bit. So I don't really know because I don't know if like from Beijing or whatever, the things are different from where I'm from because
Yeah.
I'm from Northeast. A little bit. I'm like very close, like 4 hours away from Beijing. But yeah, it's mostly like that. But so because of that, obviously, it's like very different. It's like it's embarrassing for me to say when I first came here and I dated a white boy, and then I think the first couple days I was like so into this guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't know because I just freshly I was so Chinese.
Yeah.
Back then.
You were being
And I was
submissive?
like, I was like the third day, and I was like, I love you.
Oh goddamn!
Girl, what you said? On the 1, 2, 3 day, you're done for the night.
No, the thing
On the
is,
couch.
The thing is, right? I'm gonna squat there.
Done.
I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know
that was
what's the
first
difference.
date, so
Yeah.
What was it
you
that
beat
made
me.
you say it so fast? Like,
Because I don't know. I was just like so. I don't know. I was fascinated in like white man culture or white
Wow,
like
I know
people
what you
culture.
mean.
'Cause,
Yeah, I
you
know
when
what you
first
mean.
go-
I know
it'd be
exactly
like
what you mean.
White person
Yeah.
going to Asia,
Yep.
and they all of a sudden all of these like Asian girls like
Yep.
just pop up in front of you, right?
Right.
This boy's gonna be, oh my god, there's like a lot of Chinese girls. For me, it was like, oh my god, there are a lot of white boys that I didn't get to date when
Yeah.
I was in China, and then
that's a
so
crazy perspective.
I was just like, oh my god, look at that face looks so different than my ex, right? And then like I want to marry this guy. Of course, I was stupid, right?
I know
Like
what-
so
yeah, yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
I'm dumb. Yeah. And then the boy was just like, whoa, and I was like, well, don't you love me? Like you wanted to be my boyfriend. Like why you? And then like I was supposed to say I love you. Like what am I supposed to say? So I say I like you. I like you is like a friend thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just like too
Interesting.
deep. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like kind of
It's like
culture
it's like
shock.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so interesting.
That's funny. Yeah.
It's funny because American takes the I love you very seriously.
Yeah.
Like seriously. So sometimes when I said like to someone that I like, for example, that I did whatever, and I said I love you, and he was like feel like offended. I mean like I love you as a person.
Right. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know, like don't as if like this is like an earthquake or something.
Yeah.
You know? It's I like you. It's a friend
Right.
in Indonesia too, and I love you means we love you as a person. We love you. We care about you. So those like a different, and the boyfriend girlfriend thing too. Same. So we don't have the first, second date, third date, fourth date. We don't have that. So you meet at a restaurant whatsoever, and then you like each other. That
Yeah.
guy is taking out for movies and dinner, and then he's gonna ask for 2-3 weeks, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I said yes, I want to be your girlfriend. And regarding the perception of the dating, my first boyfriend was he was in the category of like a yellow fever.
Okay,
Where
yeah.
Asian.
When they're attracted
Yes,
to-
that person likes Asian.
And that's like they're fetishizing
Yeah,
Asian, right?
Yeah, so
Yellow
like
fever.
he's from Boston. He only dated Asian, so mostly from Thailand because he thinks that we're submissive. Technically, we are submissive, like especially Indonesian, maybe Thailand. I don't know, China. We follow the boyfriend's lead or husband because they are the leader in the family.
Because the status,
The status,
of
so-
men and women
Are you guys all
different.
submissive, or is that like a?
Depends.
Depends.
So I feel like because you talk about the Beijing, right? I think Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, those are three biggest cities in China. Those cities are more educated, so they're like a New York. So it's different. Like it's different than other cities in China. They're small. Those women are more like what you ladies described. I would say that because they're kind of different. But
Don't be girls. I mean, Northeast. Sorry to interrupt, but Northeastern girls are not like that. I mean, they're like more outspoken, but
like outgoing stuff. They express their own opinions. They are very independent, especially in Beijing or big cities. Because I'm from North. I think. I mean, still the same thing in the family. My mom follows my dad. Whatever my dad says, she listens to him, right? Because he is a man. right? He support family and stuff. I totally agree. I was like that when I just came to America and I was dating my boyfriend. I dated.
Was he American or was he Chinese?
So, well, I wasn't dating. So it's like a private school in Dayton, and there's no Chinese. I mean, there is Chinese, but only a few Chinese. So I hung out with a lot of Americans, white, black people, like from different like colors. So I heard this rumor is like if you date with Chinese girl, it's like a show off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the
Like a
white
trophy?
so like white people, like a white dude and black people, like if you date with a Chinese, they're gonna talk about it with their friends.
like a prize.
Yeah, it's like a prize. Like it's like a show
a trophy.
off. Yes, yes. Cause I have this conversation with my black friends. Yeah. So that's very interesting. Cause I think is the culture is different. Cause in Asian culture, the woman's power and the status is lower. That's why that's how old generation educate us. You gotta listen to our husband. You gotta raise a family, raise the kids. The man should go out make money. It's the same thing when you get married in I can say I mean your country too, in China. If you get married, the guy should buy a house, buy a car, and the woman just stay home and raise the kids. Yeah.
Wrong. What? Okay. Oh, no, you said-
For me, I would say my family is a little bit different. Like I was born here, and you know my.
Are you first generation?
Yes.
Okay.
So my family is a little different. My family, we very much believe in like 50-50 with everything. And that's how I grew up, right? My mom and my dad, they share the bills. They, split everything. There was no, I have more power than you. My mom works just as hard as my dad. My aunts work just as hard as my uncle. So for me, I believe in like a balance in being dominant and being submissive. I want to lead you, but I also want to lead. I want you to lead me as well, just so that we don't feel like one is overpowering the other. So in that way, like in my relationships, I go into the kind of like showing them that like I will be submissive to you, when I feel comfortable. But I also like to show you that I can dominate and I could lead in the relationship.
So when you go on a date and someone's like, all right, well, I'll just pay half. You're like, you're cool with that? Just like,
Yeah, I have gone on dates and I offer to pay the bill.
oh, look at them. They don't agree.
See, like,
I do that all the time.
listen, I have actually taken
I do
a
that all
lot of
the
guys
time.
on dates, and I'm like, you know what, I got it.
Okay.
Just to show them, like this is the first. I don't owe you anything, so that, and also I don't like it when people throw it back in your face. Oh, I paid for this day, so now they feel like you're obligated to do things. So just off rip, I just like either or like let me put the tip down. You can pay for the bill. I'll leave the tip,
Yeah, it's
just to
usually the
show
man giving
them
the
that
tip.
I can actually like take charge in certain things. I don't need you to do everything, just so that you don't have nothing to throw back in my face later on.
I totally
That
agree with
motherfucking
that.
part.
That's the power there.
That whole part.
If they would like to pay, I will definitely say thank you and smile.
But I think yes, but I always offer. I offer, something.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Because I feel so. I used to do that all the time, even with my
Yeah.
friends, even with people I dated in the first couple of days. I just don't want them say, okay, if we didn't go there, if we are not boyfriend or girlfriends later, and that guy gonna say something, oh, that bitch, like I paid her all the food and blah blah blah, but she's not my girlfriend, blah blah blah. I don't want people to say that to me. So I was like, I fucking paid the bill, so just go away. I don't want you to be my boyfriend.
Oh, damn.
That type of, yeah.
That's like a goodbye.
I
It's like a-
disagree.
No, it's not like it's not like a goodbye. I just don't want people to say something about, because people are judgmental, like I said in the beginning, right? It just also like I make my own money. Like why would I want you to pay my bill? I have the ability to pay my bill, so I like that. That's the thing in here. Everything is 50-50. There's no that, oh, I'm better than you. Everyone should make effort to the family, which I'm working on that too with my husband.
Oh, you married, girl?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
A year
Happily.
ago, just a year ago.
It's
'Cause-
Caucasian?
yes. Cause
Ooh, you ain't say that at the beginning. Oh, you got to run that back, baby. Run that back,
the
Turbo.
thing is, I don't want it to be. So the step I'm gonna say next. I don't want don't let my husband say it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I disagree with that because if someone takes you on a date, you're not obligated or feel guilty about like you don't have to be afraid of he saying things to you because if he wants to take you out, then that's his responsibility as a man. It doesn't matter how much it is, but he has the brave to ask you out, and you should not be afraid to think about like, oh, he's gonna say something to me. No, I've never paid on a date.
Ever. Oh, so I ain't got to, baby.
Ever. But no disrespect because I'm
right.
materialistic, but I think I was when I had a boyfriend in Indonesia, even like his salary, he sent it to me. It's just normal in Indonesia, like the food is 100% taken care of. They give you a car if he's capable of giving you that. Because at that time I was riding a motorcycle and then I had an accident. So the next day the car came and he doesn't want me to be in a motorbike so that I can be safe.
Yeah.
So that kind of like love language, but it doesn't mean like we are materialistic.
Yeah.
And that's why here the first 4 months I came to Boston, I went on 40 dates, like 40 dates. 40.
What you said, ma'am?
40. I went
39, 40?
40.
39, 40, 41?
40.
Wow.
Because
Are you serious?
Yeah, but I didn't call it a date because I wanted to speak English. I couldn't speak English before, so I wanted
That is so crazy.
I wanted to practice my English. And it was hard to speak with American girls because they would speak so fast, and I couldn't understand. So the only way that I can do is like I downloaded Tinder, and I went to one restaurant at the same time for 4 months every Friday, Saturday. Sunday is my off day. Dating.
I'm done. You're taking a break from the dating.
Yeah, so I have like
from speed dating.
I have a Boston Andre 1, Boston Andre 2, Boston Ben 1, Ben 2. Sometimes like I messed up. Okay, this
Yo, she got a roster, y'all. Y'all hear what she's saying? Come on.
Then the first date was like, oh, they paid everything. Okay, good.
Yeah.
The second date, like, I didn't understand about split the bill. And he was like, let's split the bill. What? I didn't know what split the bill. And then, you know what? I'll let me pay. So it was my first time pay because I didn't understand. And I didn't know, but like Go Dutch, whatever. It was my first 4 months in America.
He let you pay?
He let me pay.
Okay.
And after that,
That's
you
a
know
no-no.
what? Yeah. Well, and after that, I'm not going on a second date no more. That's why the 40 dates came because I just wanna you ask me on a date. Okay, let's meet. And I wasn't. It wasn't even a date. You meet me. You are meeting because we're not romantic yet. So the first date talk, the same question. How have you? Like, how are you? How do you like Boston? So like I'm improving my English and also the free food. But it wasn't about.
I don't say free food. Period.
No, it wasn't about free food as well. It's just like you ask me, you want to take my time.
Yeah.
If you don't want to pay my time, then I would rather study at home
That's
and then
right.
read books or something.
That's
right.
That's right. You're here to improve either way, whether you at home or out on
exactly.
the date.
I don't care.
That's right.
So, to me, I'm different. Like for example, like my previous roommate, like go on a date like in the park, for example. I'm not. Don't take me on the park because I go to the park by myself running.
But also, I was at the park this morning.
Exactly.
Okay? I'm not
like,
going back again.
I'm not gonna just like walk with you, talk about life in the park, and then all the winds like messed up my. Take me on the dinner and we talk.
She
You
was
know?
romantic.
What do you offer?
Right.
It's not like this. It's just like my standard of dating.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And then let's go to the coffee shop. I don't drink coffee. Don't ask me to coffee shop.
Yeah. This girl got boundaries, y'all, period. This is how you get the man that you want by not settling,
And then that's why I'm still single.
That's right. Wait, he
Just
out there
that.
somewhere. He
Maybe
waiting on you.
that's
Just
the
like he waiting on
reason.
him.
Maybe I need to
That's the
change.
reason.
Let's go get tea. I have my own tea from Indonesia. I don't need your
What
tea.
do you want? Let me ask you. What do you want?
I just
Yo.
want maybe ride a horse or something.
Yo, this gonna be my
Ride a
race
horse?
coach right here.
Yeah,
This
ride
gonna be
a
my-
How much
this
is
gonna
it
be
to
my
ride a
race.
horse?
I don't know.
Yo.
Well,
What about y'all? Let's talk to the boys real quick. Ron got something to say, and then after we'll get to y'all.
Wow, there's a lot I want to share. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's funny. Because, like, me personally, so, like, For me, I do like I always pay like
Yeah.
dates and stuff. I just feel I feel good being a provider.
Yeah.
That's what it. But
You've
it's
been
all.
fetishized?
But it's always what?
You've been fetishized?
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 Like me? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would say so. There was like one girl. Who, she said she wanted Blasian babies, and like that definitely felt a little. That definitely felt a little weird. But I just wanted. So earlier you talked about how Asian women are like viewed like exotic and submissive. So like things are changing now recently because things are like. There's a lot more positive Asian male representation. Like there's K-pop, like Squid Games,
I'm screaming.
like Korean dramas. Like there's right now, like they're much more popular in the world. There's also anime too. So like nowadays it's a little different. But I would say that the big majority of my life, like a lot of us Asian males, we suffer from the opposite problem of exotic. We're emasculated basically.
Oh yeah.
We're not so, and and I had to, and like. And like so there was like Asian males were viewed in the longest time as being in the bottom of like the dating totem pole.
That's Asian men and black women. Black women, yeah.
I've
We're seen
actually
at the bottom of the totem pole.
I've had conversations with like black women about this too and all that.
Do you date black women?
Yeah.
Are they more combative than Asian women?
Combative?
I don't know.
Well, I actually like I've only been on a date with
Are they as submissive?
two Asian girls and all that.
Really? So you prefer to date black women,
Well, it's like for
or
me,
outside of your ethnicity?
So for me, it's like what was it? It's all about like compatibility and
Yes, sir.
also like
Yes, sir.
opportunities. Like so now I'm exposed to the music scene. There's like
yeah.
like I'm open to it's exposure.
Yeah.
And there I was like there's actually because like high school. There wasn't a single black woman who graduated in my grade.
Really?
For example, in college, I like barely knew any too. So like, and I also lived in Baltimore for 2 years. So that also.
How you ain't seen nothing in Baltimore?
So that in Baltimore, yeah, that opened, because Baltimore is a black majority city.
Yeah.
So.
That is crazy.
So for me, it's also like it's just like exposure and like on dating apps, like black women tend to match with me disproportionately, and all that. So it's just like opportunities and all that.
What about you, Adam?
Yo, what up? I've dated a black woman once. It was a great time.
What was great
awesome.
about it?
What?
What was great about it?
She gave me a really great time one time. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to go into too many details.
Wait, like you don't have to go into too many details, but
Yeah.
what do you mean? Do you mean sexually? Do you mean romantically?
Both.
Okay. And was it that one time, or was it a continued relationship?
It was one time, but then I wasn't ready for anything after. That was on me. That was on me.
What you
That
mean you
was
wasn't
on me.
ready for anything after?
I wasn't ready for anything long term. I was like,
Okay, I see. So it was intentionally a one-time romantic situation.
Yeah, we went on a few dates, but then here and there, and it was but then it didn't lead to anything after that. We're still cool though.
Have you dated any white women
No.
or Asian women?
I had a fling with an Asian woman once. She was Sri Lankan woman. Yes, how do you know that?
Was she submissive?
What do you mean by submissive?
Whatever you guys define it as.
She like took control. She was like pretty like very
Little
forward
dominatrix.
about it. Yeah. I fucked with it though. It was cool. She gave a really good blowjob. It was cool.
Well, when we hear like the when we hear that statistic about like Asian men and like black women being at the bottom of the totem pole, has that at all affected like your dating life?
Like all the time, like especially like I remember in 8th grade, for example, like even like people, it was like white women, they would just talk about how like, oh yeah, there's no cute Asian guy, just publicly on like a Facebook thing, and so that reminded me of how like I was seen. And all that, and even like nowadays, it's like dating's not really an issue, but back then, like especially because I was in white spaces, a lot of the racism that's towards you is very it's very subtle, indirect, and it's also like the way that like Asian men are viewed, like men who want to antagonize with me, they use that to belittle me. That part. Like, and I mean to this day, people try to belittle me with those like hurt people. And like they're just projecting, and they view and it's not just Asian men, but it's Asian. They view Asian people as like weak, passive, non-confrontational, won't fight back. And so I've had more than a few times people like 9th grade. There's actually a good amount of Asians in my school, but in my gym class, I was the only Asian person, And we all matured, so that, I'm even friends with a few of them now. But it was just like for in their mind, it's just like normal for them to like just kind of gang up on me, and like just make like all the stereotypical Asian jokes, Asian penis jokes, and like and like that's the thing, like that would not you don't. It's not okay to make any types of jokes like that to to any race. That's just disrespectful. But against Asian men, like, and to this day, it's still like prevalent. Asian jokes are normalized. They're like we're told, and and even my parents, like a lot of immigrant parents, they tell you to put your head down and just like don't complain, just like make money, assimilate. But like, what was it? But for me, it's just like because that attitude is harmful for us because people like they and then when I do stand up for myself and they're like they think I'm being too sensitive, and then I just like I lead with kindness. I try to, but I also am like. Well, this is the status quo. You think, like, even not consciously, you subconsciously think we're passive. We're not going to fight back. And so finally, when we stand up for ourselves and express our grievances, like suddenly we're the bad guys all of a sudden. And like, there's still people in the music scene who tell me, and they're not Asian, they tell me I have to react a certain way. And I feel like they're not actually listening to me. I feel like, and that's where like, that's just the whole crux of it. It's ignorance and lack of exposure. Yeah. I'm not going to list any names. We're past that. But yeah, but in terms of like, dating wise, I would say, what was it? Like, I definitely like to, like me personally, I love to pay for dates and all that, but I hate dinner dates. First date. I fucking hate them.
How come?
I like it something casual and all that. Like
dinner dates can be casual.
Like
though.
I love
She's looking at it and she's like, no.
I bring them to boba tea.
Oh yay!
Boba tea, barcade. Like I love barcades.
Like
bowling.
Okay,
Bowling is a very underrated date idea in my opinion.
It is very fun.
And like also if it's bowling or like arcade, I pay for everything.
That's what's up.
But like it's always a big green flag when the girl like offers to like pay back and all that.
What does that suggest to you?
I mean, it suggests to me that they actually they
Like you for you.
they're being appreciative and considerate, and they're trying to give back. Like there's a girl first date like I think we stopped by like it was like what was it Chinese egg waffle. And like she actually was like, no, you don't have. You've been paying too much. Let me pay for it. And for me, that's a big green flag. They're not just out here using you like as a sucker for your money, and then just ghost you after the first date.
That's really cool.
But like what for me, it's just like I don't get any. What was it? I'm not entitled to anything just because I paid for the date. I'm doing it because that's just what I like to do. That for that, that's like for one aspect like. One aspect of traditional masculinity, I do like being a provider, but I things like like pay all bills. I'm way more loose. I think the important thing is we communicate. If you're okay with paying this part, doing this chore, because like I don't mind cleaning, for example, cleaning up the house and all that. It's all about just like communication and making sure you're on the same page. But I definitely I think that. Traditional, like I definitely lean more into that energy. Being a like traditional masculine,
that makes
like
sense.
way of going with things. Yeah.
For the woman here, because most of you guys date outside of your race, I'm assuming that's what everybody said. What do you guys think about that that statistic about Asian men being at the bottom of the totem pole with black women and et cetera? They're not, at least in America.
Can you repeat again?
What do you guys think about like Juan was saying, that Asian men are at the bottom of the attraction totem pole of in America?
I don't know. I didn't know Asian man is the bottom of the.
I don't even know
have.
either.
It depends.
You didn't?
I think it depends. I think.
Why'd you jump ship then? I'm just playing.
It depends personality. It doesn't mean have to be what kind of the Chinese Asian or different. Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't know. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
No.
That makes sense.
Well, for me, I've never dated an Asian guy.
You ain't, girl.
I've never, ever.
You ain't never, not one time.
Not
you ain't
one
never
time.
nothing.
Never.
Not even licked it.
Nope.
Ain't even nothing.
Nothing.
What?
Never
Never
held
found them
hands with
attractive?
one. None.
That is crazy.
So, but for me, that the reason behind this is because my childhood, from kindergarten up till like 5th grade, I was put in all Vietnamese kids class, right? So my childhood, that's all I knew was having Vietnamese friends and then coming home to my Vietnamese family.
Yeah.
So then when I was put in a more diverse classroom in 5th grade, like that was when my mind opened, you know, to kids who weren't like me, you know, Hispanic kids, black kids,
Yeah,
white kids.
yeah.
So in that environment, I felt like I grew so much, you know, learning from other people and why they do things a certain way because they're not like me. They didn't grow up like me. So that's when, you know, I chose to like date outside of my race.
Yeah.
I felt like I was able to grow more.
100%.
And, you know, also like seeing the Asian men in my family, the Vietnamese men in my family, they're very like, I don't want to say like, they're dependent on their wives in a certain way, but like they don't really take charge in certain things. Like when it comes to the kids, they put that all on their wives. You know, they just worry about making their money and that's it. So for me, like that wasn't the type of relationship for me where like I am solely, you know, focus on the kids and then you make the money.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I've always dated outside of my race.
Yeah.
You know, and also just like, I just felt like that's where I'm able to grow the
Yeah.
most, you know, just learning from you and you learning from me.
Yeah.
You know, what our differences are and then we come together, find out what we're in common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. I didn't have my first black boyfriend until I was like
Goddamn.
16 maybe.
Oh, wait, that's
My nickname in high school, was the white boy slayer. That was my nickname in high school. All the white boys just loved me, and I
You just
loved
wanted
them
to get
too. But I
colonized.
always loved dating. I always like dating outside of my race for that. Like I've always been attracted to different people. Like I grew up
Yeah.
in Florida too, Florida and Georgia. There's a lot of Asian community. It's a lot of Asians down south, a lot. And my stepdad's white, and we grew up. Our neighborhood was diverse. Like it was a pleasure to see how other people lived, because you can't grow unless you're placed in that environment too.
Yeah.
How is it bringing interracial thing back to the family? Like, you know, are they very accepting? Are they like, no, why don't you get yourself a good whatever your ethnicity is?
I would say in the beginning, like my family, of course, wanted me and my cousins to date within our race, marry within our race. But then over time, like them seeing that we have, you know, Hispanic friends, black friends and stuff like that, they became a lot more open-minded. And like I do have, my son is half black, you know, so
Asian.
yeah. So they never like judged me, you know, for, you know, who I date or stuff like that. They're very welcoming to the people that I bring home. So personally, I've never experienced like my family having no judgment, like me dating outside my race. But it was definitely like they weren't as open-minded, you know, like they are now.
Mine is very obvious. I grew up Muslim and we are Muslim. When I brought my first boyfriend to Indonesia, he was white. He's Jewish, white Jewish.
Oh, that's conflict, right?
And then it was like, what is his religion? Is it Jewish? And then, oh my God, does he want to convert? Maybe. That's the only thing that they care about, because I need to be in the same religion. And then that person wanted to, you know, convert, he said at that time, but it didn't work out. And then the second boyfriend was black. And I sent a picture to my family, and even my niece judged me. And
How old was she?
and I sent a picture, and my niece like, "What, Auntie? Can you find another boyfriend?" And I was like, "Auntie, this is so dark." I was like, "If you say something bad about my boyfriend, I'm not gonna send you money, cause I'm the provider in my family, and you know they didn't expose to that one." Here's the thing: we also have a dark skin in Indonesia. In the east part of Indonesia, we have exactly like a black people, like
darker than me?
darker than you,
Okay.
darker than you guys here. It's from Papua, and it's from
The
Papua.
last one
It's-
I
yeah,
know.
yeah. So like exactly like black people, like dark, and then they're like African people. That's why when people talk about racism in America, we do have that in Indonesia, because most of Indonesian people like have a light skin like me, and also like her. But we also have dark skin in the east of Indonesia, where it's far from the governor. They're like living in a very bad situation, bad environment, because it's far from the capital. So they forgot, And then I educated my family. You cannot be like that. So all of us are the same,
Right.
no matter what our skin color. So he's my boyfriend, and I want you to respect.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, fine. I would rather respect than not getting money from her. I'm kidding.
But that's the
But they
compromise.
were-
I
but they
guess
were-
they have to do.
Yeah, but they were shocked. Like they were shocked about like
Yeah. You actually dating a black man.
exactly. So it was, and then again, does he want to come for us? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. That's my experience. Anyone?
Yeah, I unfortunately, yes. So I'm I love my husband, by the way. So I married a year ago with Chinese husband. So when I was here, when I was 19, I came here. I never dated Chinese guy because in my college, there's no Asian guy I really into. They're very judgmental and they don't work out. They're so skinny. I don't like that. So I only dated one Chinese guy when I was in college for 4 years. And then I was working for like 2 years after my college, and then I just never dated Asian guy, because I respect the culture. Like everyone is equal in here, and they respect your thoughts. And then if I ever tell my parents, okay, I want to marry this guy and he's not Chinese, they're gonna go crazy. Like I was testing. I was like, hey mom, if I marry someone who's not Asian, Chinese, what do you think about that? She said, you never come back home.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
It's hardball.
Yes. She was really serious. But I don't want to really fight that. I mean, first of all, I didn't get along with my ex-boyfriends because sometimes they're cheat, sometimes, it's something it doesn't work out. And then the culture is different because I feel like if I date Chinese guy, they understand where I come from and we can speak fluently. Like, because English is not our native language. If I say, fuck you, I will feel much better when I say in Chinese.
Can you say it in Chinese for us?
You want to hear Chinese word?
The Chinese fuck you.
You want to say?
No, I don't know how to.
So it's different. But another thing is, I don't want to fight with my parents. I want to respect them because they raised me, right? I am really bonded to this thing. I want to respect their thought. I want my husband to, can understand them, can speak fluently with them. So because my past relationship, I ever dated a Muslim. I loved him so much, but he can never marry a woman who are not Muslim. Yeah, so a lot of stuff.
Is he single now?
He's single, but he can't.
But he likes dates at the park.
You don't like park. He loves park.
I do love park by myself, reading books, not with a guy.
Okay.
So. Say it again. They're gonna hate me. No, I do love going to the park by myself, reading books, and then do
not
my
with a guy.
meditation, but not
with a man. Yeah.
Goddamn.
Wow. So you all cannot be her friends,
Different.
Yeah. And then I just met my husband was in Northeastern, so cause he respect my thoughts. He's not like other Chinese guy. Oh, you can listen to my words. He's very independent. He respect what I do. He never interfere like what I do for work. Like tonight, like I'm here. A lot of Chinese guy gonna, hey, why you go there? Like why you stay so late? Like what time you come back home? Like where you wanna eat? Blah, blah, blah. They gonna ask you so many questions, but my husband's like, oh, just do your thing. Like I respect what you do. If I go hang out with guys, like Asian guys are very sometimes jealousy. Like you just stick with me. Like you cannot hang out with other guys.
Is that what you do, Quan?
Are you like that?
Me? Not particularly.
Okay, he's
'Cause-
been Americanized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He born here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely like, I'm pretty. Yeah, that's the thing. As a Chinese American, there's a lot of big cultural differences and all that. I'm definitely like, I'm just more laid back. I'm just not gonna ask all those questions if I trust you and all that.
Yeah, I just feel like the reason I married my husband, he respect me a lot, and he's not clingy.
Yeah.
I don't like one who's very clingy all the time. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you gotta hang out or we gotta stick together. I hate that because I'm an independent person. I make my own money. I run my own business. So as long as my husband support me,
Yeah.
it's fine if I don't do laundry. It's fine if I wash dishes at home. He's like, just do your thing. I
That's
can
what's
wash
up.
it. I can do it. It's fine. So
Right.
I love him. What he respect me for.
Yeah.
So
I remember when he wanted to marry him, that's what exactly she said to me.
Yeah.
She married
That's
him
what's
because
up.
of that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a little breaky break, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you guys for your views so far. It's been great.